Okay, so, Maya, again, you need to hear this.
Oh no, not again. Please tell me she didn't try to navigate the subway system again.
Yeah.
I'm still recovering from that map disaster.
No, this is different. I got the phone call last night, and honestly, I think I am physically still recovering from the secondhand embarrassment. It's heavy. It is just weighing on me.
For someone who tries so hard to project this image of being like cool and collected, Maya really is a magnet for absolute chaos.
It is unbelievable. But look, welcome to the show, everyone. This is just Johnny and Sophie. Real people, real stories, real English.
That is the mission. We are taking a deep dive into the lives of our friends and honestly, mostly Maya at this point, to help you learn English the way it is actually spoken in the wild.
Exactly. No textbooks here. Just the messy, awkward, hilarious reality of everyday life. And speaking of messy, we really need to talk about Maya's track record.
I feel like we need a disclaimer at the top of the show. This is, what, the third time she's been the main character?
It is, yeah.
Because first it was Lily's disaster morning in episode 1, which, to be fair, was mostly bad luck on Lily's part.
Right.
But then Maya got hopelessly lost in episode 2, and now this. What is the category of disaster this time? Please tell me she didn't try to cook for a date.
No. Thankfully, for her kitchen and her insurance premiums, she went to a restaurant with a friend last weekend.
Okay.
And she called me immediately after because the events of the evening were just, catastrophic.
Catastrophic is a very strong word for dinner. Usually catastrophic is reserved for, like, natural disasters or plumbing failures.
In this case, catastrophic might actually be an understatement. It was a social catastrophe. So let me set the scene for you.
Right.
Maya and her friend walk into this really nice place. White tablecloths, candlelit, very chic. They sit down. The vibe is good. They are feeling good.
Okay, a promising start. This is usually where the horror movie music starts playing, though.
Right, she's feeling confident. And this is important. She has been practicing. She's been working on her pronunciation, expanding her vocabulary. She is ready to order like a local.
Love it.
She wants to prove she can do it without pointing at the menu.
I love that confidence. It's essential for language learning.
Yeah.
You have to believe you can say it before you actually say it.
It is essential until it isn't. Until that confidence runs headfirst into reality. So the waiter comes over, a very nice professional waiter, crisp uniform, serious demeanor, and Maya decides she wants the chicken.
Simple. A classic choice. Phonetically, it's not that hard. Chicken. 2 syllables. Really hard to mess up.
You would think. She looks this waiter in the eye, summons all that confidence we talk about, and attempts to say chicken, but she mispronounces it.
How bad are we talking?
We are talking unrecognizable. She mispronounces it so badly that the word loses all semantic meaning. It wasn't just an accent thing, it was a completely new sound.
Oh, that is the worst feeling. When you think you nailed it, you've rehearsed it in your head, and you just get that blank stare back. The signal-to-noise ratio just drops to 0.
The blank stare is exactly what she got. The waiter just looked confused. He pauses, tilts his head like a dog trying to understand a whistle, and politely asks her to repeat it.
Okay, it's standard procedure. This is the repair phase of conversation. You get a second chance. Just slow down, enunciate, maybe point at the menu.
That is what a rational person would do. That is what a cool person would do. But this is Maya.
Right.
She panicked. Her brain went into fight or flight mode. So instead of correcting herself or pointing at the menu, she just repeats the exact same mispronunciation.
No.
Only louder.
The speak louder technique. The classic foreigner talk fallacy. If I shout the nonsense word, it will suddenly make sense to you.
Exactly. She basically shouted this nonsense word at the poor guy. She totally doubled down on the error.
Oh, Maya. That is painful. It's that psychological block where you freeze up and just can't access the right strategy.
And her friend. Her friend is sitting across from her, realizing exactly what's happening, and she starts laughing.
Of course she does.
But she's trying to be a good friend, right? She's not laughing out loud. She's trying very, very hard to hide it. She's holding her breath, turning bright red, literally shaking the table.
That makes it so much worse for the person ordering. When you see your friend vibrating with suppressed laughter, you know you've messed up. It signals to the waiter that this isn't just a mistake, it's a scene.
But wait, it gets worse.
How does it get worse than shouting nonsense at a waiter while your friend explodes?
The waiter, bless his heart, still doesn't understand. He doesn't want to get the order wrong. He's a professional. So he makes a decision.
Yeah.
He decides to call another waiter over.
No. He called for backup.
He called for backup. He literally waved at a colleague. So now, imagine this. You have Maya sitting there, sweating, Her friend is about to pass out from laughing.
Oh, my goodness.
And now there are two waiters standing at the table staring at her, looking completely confused.
That is a nightmare. That is an actual anxiety dream I have had. The two-waiter problem. It's an escalation of authority.
Two waiters, just staring, waiting for her to say the magic word.
At that point, I would just stand up and leave. I'd move to a different city. I'd change my name entirely.
Maya told me she wanted to disappear into the floor. She said she was visually scanning the ground, hoping a trap door would open up and swallow her whole.
That is a very specific feeling. So how did they resolve it? Did they bring the manager? Did they get a translator app?
Finally, the friend stepped in. She composed herself enough to stop laughing for 1 second and just said the word correctly.
Chicken.
Yeah, chicken. And of course, both waiters immediately went, "Oh, the chicken, of course."
The instant realization. That almost hurts more, doesn't it?
It does, because it implies that she was so far off the mark before. Like, "Oh, you wanted the chicken, why didn't you just say so?" As if she hadn't been screaming it for 2 minutes.
So the waiters leave. The adrenaline must have been pumping. The shame must have been palpable.
Oh, she was mortified. But here's the kicker.
There's more.
When the food finally arrived,
Yeah.
it was the wrong order.
No way. After all that, after the summit meeting with the staff.
Completely wrong dish. It wasn't the chicken. But, and this tells you everything you need to know about Maya, because she was so embarrassed about the earlier scene with the two waiters, she didn't say anything.
She just accepted her fate. That is pure submission.
She submitted, she ate the food she didn't order, she pretended everything was fine, she said, delicious, while dying inside.
That is the level of defeat that I deeply understand. It's the sunk cost fallacy of social dignity. She felt she had already spent too much social capital just trying to order, so she had absolutely nothing left to complain about the food.
Exactly. She didn't want to be the problem customer twice in one night. And to top it off, she left a very big tip.
I'm sorry, I was awkward tax. I know it well.
She basically paid them for the privilege of being humiliated and eating the wrong dinner.
Well, at least she made it out alive. She got to leave eventually. The night has to end sometime.
You would think that was the end. You would think the universe had punished her enough.
Oh, please tell me that was the end. My heart can't take much more.
So they pay the bill. They stand up. Maya is just desperate to get out of there. She's walking toward the door, head down, walking fast. She's got tunnel vision on the exit sign.
Right.
And on the way out, she tripped on the step at the door.
Oh, no.
A full trip. Stumble, flailing arms, the heavy sound of a shoe hitting wood. The whole thing.
Did anyone see?
The whole restaurant saw. It was like the grand finale of a circus act.
Oh, that is brutal. That is a full body cringe. That is the spotlight effect coming to life.
Yeah.
You know, usually we tell people nobody is watching you, but in this case...
In this case, everybody was watching. She said she basically ran to the car after that.
You know, it's funny. We laugh, and we are laughing, but I think everyone listening can relate to this on some level. Maybe not the sequence of disasters that is unique to Maya, but that feeling.
The feeling of just wanting to be invisible. Absolutely. It's the vulnerability of putting yourself out there in a second language or just in a high-pressure social setting.
Yeah. And honestly, I can't judge her too harshly.
Why not? This is comedy gold. You are usually the first one to analyze the breakdown of communication.
Because, and I haven't told many people this, I have had my own restaurant disaster. And frankly, it might be worse.
You. Mr. Cool and Collected. Let's analyze the context.
Yes, me.
It's me.
It haunts me to this day. It is a ghost that lives in my brain.
Okay, you have to share. The listeners need to know that you are human.
Okay, so this is a few years ago. I was at this nice Italian place, really great food. I was there by myself, actually, just grabbing a quick lunch between meetings.
Okay, solo diner. Very sophisticated.
I thought so. The waiter brings my pasta. It looks amazing. He puts it down on the table, smiles, and says, "Enjoy your meal."
Standard. Very normal interaction.
Standard. And my brain just went on autopilot. You know when you have two scripts in your head at the same time?
Yeah.
I wanted to say, "Thanks, man," or maybe "Thanks, you too," but the wires got crossed.
Oh, no.
I looked this grown man, this professional waiter, in the eye, and I said, "Thanks, Mom."
Wait. You what?
I said, "Thanks, Mom."
You called the waiter mom?
I called the male waiter Mom.
Oh, my God.
As soon as it left my mouth, I knew. I heard it. It hung in the air. It wasn't even quiet. It was clear as day. "Thanks, Mom."
What did he do? Did he adopt you?
He just froze for a second. He looked
Yeah.
very confused. He didn't say anything. He just sort of nodded slowly, looked at me with this mix of pity and fear, and walked away.
Thanks, Mom. I am never going to let you forget this. That shifts the dynamic so wildly.
It does. It changes it from server and customer to mother and child.
Yeah.
It is so intimate and wrong.
So what did you do? Did you leave?
I tried to play it cool. That was the worst part. I tried to act like nothing happened. I just picked up my fork and started eating immediately, like aggressively.
Thanks, Mom.
Please stop.
So you sat there eating your pasta after calling him Mom. Did he come back?
He did not come back to check on me. Usually they come back and say, "How is everything?" He stayed away. I stared at my food for the rest of the meal. I didn't look up once. I paid at the counter, and I never went back to that restaurant.
I can't breathe. That is so much worse than Maya's story. At least Maya just mispronounced chicken. You had a Freudian slip with a waiter.
It was an autopilot error. It wasn't Freudian. I don't see him as my mother.
Sure. Whatever you say.
I regret telling you this. I feel the shame rising again.
No, this is the best thing that has ever happened on this deep dive. Maya, if you are listening, you are off the hook. He wins the disaster award.
Can we please move on to the educational part of the show? Please. I really need to regain some shred of dignity here.
Ideally, I'd like to stay on this topic for another hour, but okay. Let's look at some of the English that came up in these tragic stories.
Yes. Let's distract everyone from my shame with some linguistics. There were 3 key expressions we use today that are really useful for describing these kinds of awkward situations.
Right. The first one is a feeling we both know well now. To want to disappear.
Yes, to want to disappear. This is a great phrase. It doesn't mean you actually want to vanish physically well, maybe you do in the moment, but it means you feel so embarrassed that you wish you could just become invisible to escape the situation.
Exactly. I used it when I said Maya wanted to disappear into the floor. It's that feeling of intense embarrassment where you just want to check out of reality.
You can use it in any context. I dropped my coffee in the middle of a silent meeting and I wanted to disappear.
Or I called the waiter Mom and I wanted to disappear.
Okay, I walked right into that one. I set the trap and I stepped right in it.
You really did. It's the perfect example, though.
Moving on, quickly. The second expression is to play it cool.
This is a very common phrase. To play it cool.
Right. This means to pretend you are calm and unbothered, even when inside you are nervous, embarrassed, or totally freaking out. It's about emotional regulation.
It's about maintaining your composure. It's acting, basically.
Exactly. In my story, which we are not repeating the details of, I said I tried to play it cool after the incident. I acted like it was normal.
But you failed. You didn't play it cool. You stared at your pasta in shame.
I tried to play it cool. That's the key usage. You can say, he played it cool, but I could tell he was nervous.
Or if you trip on the street, like Maya, you stand up, adjust your jacket, and try to play it cool.
Exactly. It's a very useful phrase for social situations. It's something you tell yourself. Just play it cool.
Okay, what's the third word?
The third one is to call someone over.
To call someone over. This came up in Maya's story with the waiters.
Yes, the first waiter called another waiter over. It means to signal or ask someone to come to where you are. It implies a direction. You are here, they are there.
You use this a lot in restaurants, right? I called the waiter over to ask for the bill.
Or at work. My boss called me over to his desk. It implies a physical movement towards the speaker.
It's a phrasal verb. Call over. And it can feel a little bit authoritative depending on how you do it.
Right. If you snap your fingers, it's rude. But if you just wave, you're calling them over.
Correct. So let's recap. We have to want to disappear.
Which is the emotional reaction to shame.
To play it cool.
Which is the attempt to hide the shame.
And to call someone over.
Which is the mechanic that escalated Maya's shame.
See? They all connect. It's a beautiful ecosystem of embarrassment.
It really is. And, learning these phrases actually helps. Because if you can describe your disaster in English, it's almost like therapy. It's reframing the trauma into a story.
It is. It turns a bad moment into a good anecdote. That's what we're doing here. We are turning your pain into content.
I am glad my pain can bring value to you, the listener. That is why I'm here.
So we have a challenge for our listeners this week. We want you to use one of these phrases in your real life.
Specifically, we want you to use the phrase, play it cool.
Yes. Use it this week. In any situation, even a small one.
Maybe you make a mistake at work. Tell yourself, just play it cool. Or tell a friend about a date, I tried to play it cool.
It is one of those phrases that instantly makes your English sound more natural. It sounds confident. It sounds like something a native speaker would say over coffee.
It does. It's idiomatic. It's casual. It is real English.
One like, thanks, Mom. That is not real English. Do not say that to a waiter.
Please do not do that.
Yeah.
Learn from my mistakes. That is the whole point of this deep dive. I make the mistakes so you don't have to.
I am never going to get over that. I'm going to text Maya as soon as we finish recording. She's going to feel so much better knowing she isn't the only one.
I am just happy to take the heat off her for a week.
Before we go, we should probably warn everyone about next week's deep dive. We are shifting gears from restaurant disasters to physical torture.
Oh, right. Next Monday, the fitness deep dive.
We are going to be talking about Marcus.
Marcus and his brilliant idea to convince me to join a gym.
Spoiler alert, it did not go well.
I lasted 4 days. 4 days. And I couldn't walk for a week.
And the best part, Marcus, who convinced you to join? Who sold you on this new lifestyle?
He never actually signed up himself. He is a salesman. A terrible, terrible salesman.
I called it on day 2. I said, he isn't going to make it to Friday.
My muscles hurt just thinking about it. So tune in on Monday for that saga. We will break down the vocabulary of fitness and regret, but until then, try to think about why we feel the need to fill silence, even if it means saying the completely wrong thing. It's a weird human quirk, isn't it? Something for you to chew on this week.
It is going to be a good one next time. Thank you all for listening to us today.
Thanks for listening. And remember, keep it real.
Real conversations, real English.
Every day, even when you call the waiter mom.
Especially then. Bye, everyone.